Hello, Evans. Thank you for joining us at this time.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So, Evans, what are your thoughts on the Rivers State House of Assembly leadership crisis? And do you think the appeal court's decision to reserve judgment will help resolve the issue?
Yes. Well, the appeal court is going to give its judgment on the issue under reference, because you notice that the judgment that asked the 24 of them, lawmakers, not to parade themselves any longer as lawmakers of the state, is one that was actually appealed by the lawmakers themselves, or the former lawmakers, if you like. And they need to have that case discharged at the appeal level so that they know where they stand exactly on the issue under reference. Even though there's both parties have made their arguments before the court. It's for the appeal court to give a ruling. But you see, the ruling of the appeal court may not necessarily abate the level of violence that have gone under in Rivers State, because while you are discussing that of the lawmakers, you have another one brewing under. That is the outgoing chairman of the local government, whose tenure has expired by law, but whom have refused to vacate that office on the basis that these same lawmakers made a law in the past to extend their tenure of office by 6 months. And the court also have ruled, giving judgment to the effect that lawmakers have no such powers to make laws that will be contrary to the Constitution. That the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is clear as to the tenureship of local government. And same is 3 years and cannot be more than 3 years.
All right, Evans. Now, speaking of these lawmakers, can you explain the implications of the High Court's judgment, declaring the seats of Martins Amaewhule and 24 of them vacant? And how is this affecting the state's legislative process?
Yes, it's affecting the state legislative process because their seats have been declared vacant. What is actually expected under the law is that the Speaker of the House is supposed to give vent to that to ensure that INEC conduct elections to fill in the gap. That is supposed to be the implication. But they have gone on appeal, filing a motion to stay execution of the judgment. So having brought a motion to stay execution of the judgment, nobody is expected to actually move or to call INEC to conduct an election until the options of appeal have been all determined, when they have no option of appeal any longer. But the legislative implication is that it has brought a lot of harm, legislative harm, to Rivers State, because as we speak, there is no substantive State House of Assembly that is making laws for the good governance of the state, as prescribed by Section 4 of the 1999 Constitution. So the state is just like a rudderless entity where the engine room of democracy, which is the legislature, has run into a trouble water. And as such, litigation must abate before you can find any peace at that level, because whichever part that gets victory in court, the other side goes on appeal. And that is what we have seen. So the only way to bring peace to this state is for the warring parties to keep their sword and let there be some level of peace in that state. The people of Rivers State deserve peace. That is why they donated their collective allegiance to their leaders, so that in return they will get good governance, development, progress, and prosperity in that state. But that has not been the case, because their leaders are hell-bent on fighting one another to a point where governance has been put to the back. Democracy itself has been eroded. What you now have is vendetta, blood-baiting, scheming, and all that, all whatnot going on. And this must come to an end.
Okay. Now, how do you assess, the argument by Amaewhule and others that the trial court lacked jurisdiction in issuing its judgment? And, what legal precedents, may support or counter this claim?
Yeah, the reason they argued that the State High Court does not have jurisdiction is because actually when there's a dispute between an individual and an institution. Okay? When a dispute between an individual and an institution is actually the Federal High Court that have jurisdiction. But in this case, the dispute actually emanates from the institution itself. Just members of the institution divided against themselves, and then bringing an action against the action taken by some lawmakers who defected. Okay, so ordinarily, it is the Federal High Court that have jurisdiction, okay, to determine this case. But in the case of that reference, a part, okay, is suing another part. Not necessarily that the House of Assembly is being sued, but some persons who have defected. Okay, so if you look at it from hindsight,
okay,
the argument that the Federal High Court have jurisdiction because the House of Assembly is an institution is valid, but you have to look at the case filed. The case was against the action of some members, not necessarily the National Assembly, the House of Assembly itself. Yeah. The action of some members. So in which case, the High Court of the State has jurisdiction.
All right. Well, thank you so much for speaking to us and giving us your expert's opinion on this issue, Evans. We appreciate you for your time.
You're welcome.